Feels great to be back talking sports right here on the weekend show. I am Monday Thomas, pleased to sponsor take you around the world of sports. Before we head into the conversation, let's have a feel of what we saw over the week, some scintillating sporting actions in basketball, tennis, and as well as what is happening in Pretoria as it concerns the Basketball Africa League. But on Sunday, it was all celebrations for Portugal. And it was celebrations for Cristiano Ronaldo as well, scoring 137th goal in his career as far as international football is concerned, to hand Portugal their third international trophy in the Cristiano Ronaldo era. On Monday, it was goodbyes for Rivers Hoopers in Pretoria as they lost in the quarterfinals to APR Rwanda. As far as it concerns the Basketball Africa League, it's been a roller coaster for Rivers Hoopers. They are back in the country, and as well as the boys who were also knocked out of the basketball playoffs in Pretoria. And on Tuesday, it was celebrations for Africa. It was the first time ever we've seen an African side beat England in England. A 3-1 win to the Teranga Lions of Senegal against the Three Lions of England in Nottingham. On Wednesday, we saw Game 3 of the NBA playoffs, and it was Tyrese Haliburton who charged the Indian Police side to a 2-1 victory. But last night, Oklahoma City Thunders were able to tie the knot, and it is now 2-2 on the series. On Thursday, we saw a classic encounter, and on Friday, we are counting down to the FIFA Club World Cup. And this is the first time we're going to be having 32 teams in action. Saturday, preparations are in place for the Grand Prix in Canada, which is going to happen tomorrow. Now, let's get things on the way as we get to talk about what we saw over the week and as well as take a look at the game of the week. The game of the week was a game in Nottingham, although it was a friendly match, but it was definitely a win for Africa. Let's take a look at the game of the week. Fantastic display from the Teranga Lions of Senegal, of course, hoisting the African flag in England, the first African team to beat England since 1986. Right here with me is MC Samm. MC Samm, good morning.
Good morning.
Well, let's begin the conversation with what El Hadji Diop, the former African champion, had to say to Jamie Carragher. If you can remember earlier on this year, Jamie Carragher came out to take a swipe. Was he taking a swipe? I'm not sure, but he said that the Africa Cup of Nations is not a major tournament and it cannot guarantee Mo Salah the Ballon d'Or. And it was a conversation that sparked lots of opinion. And I feel Africa has now given that conversation a perfect repost. I mean, Senegal beating England by 3-1. El Hadji Diop, let's quickly have what he said on the screens if you can get it. El Hadji Diop said, "This is for you, Carragher." Carragher was the man who actually took that slam against the Africa Cup of Nations. And after that win, El Hadji Diop, former African Player of the Year, not an African champion. If you talk about African champion, you've got to give it to Sadio Mane, who's a Senegalese. What do you have to say about this?
First of all, I want to say Senegal beating England made me a proud black man. I'm very happy with that. I'm proud of that score. So I'm happy we did that. And Carragher, I don't ever have any reply to say because what he said was, to me, doesn't make any sense. And we just proved a point to him.
All right, a perfect post from the African Teranga Lions, the 2021 AFCON winners. Now moving ahead on the show as we are counting down to the new season of club football. It looks like Manchester City are revamping and they're doing that real good. 4 signings so far in the transfer market. They are getting the business done. And on Thursday, they confirmed the signing of Tijani Renders. They've also signed Ed Nouri from Wolves, not forgetting the likes of Ryan Cherki from Lyon and Marcus Bertolini of Chelsea. Now, what do you have to say right now? We saw how Manchester City played last season. Do you think they've completed the missing puzzle and they're ready for next season?
As far as I'm concerned, to me, the only real excuse or the only real reason Man City didn't do well was because Rodri was not in that team. World best. Was missing. And if not, top 9 they had Haaland, the midfield they had Kevin De Bruyne played all.
Don't you think they need a striker? Remember, Julian Alvarez was a key part of Manchester City when they won the Champions League. He left and Haaland was left to play alone. Haaland cannot do everything. I mean, he's human. He got injured. and Manchester City suffer. Do you think out of these 4 signings, they need to add a 5th one and possibly a striker?
Yes, having an attacker is an extra advantage to them. But let's be sincere, the real thing they missed last season was Rodri. That's one real thing they missed. It was not there's Jack Grealish that is trying for his best for them, but the real thing they missed, as far as I'm concerned, is Rodri. So if they have an attacker, it's an extra advantage for them.
All right, 4 signings so far in the summer. Let's see what a fit Rodri would do for Manchester City next season. And still talking club football as we look to wrap things up. Let's have a feel of what we ought to expect by tomorrow, 1 a.m. We are going to see Arcali take on Inter Miami, and it all concerns the FIFA Club World Cup, which is going to be for the first time we're going to see 32 teams in action. A brief overview of the FIFA Club World Cup. It all started in 2000, first hosted in Brazil. 2001 to 2004 did not see the competition because of some factors, which is mainly FIFA lost their marketing partners. It returned in 2005 as an annual tournament. Now in 2023, a quadrennial tournament that is going to see 32 teams. What do you make of it?
To be honest, I feel FIFA are doing this to generate more funds. That's one real.
So it's not about the competition? 32 teams should be more competitive, right?
But I still work local, and the interest people have on it, let's be sincere, the interest in it is not as high as like the other tournaments like Champions League and the rest. So I don't know, let's see how this year will look like. Whether other people will be interested in participating. Is that interest in participation? That's what I want to see how it's going to look.
First time ever we're having 32 teams feature at the FIFA Club World Cup, and 12 teams from Europe, 6 from South America, 4 from Asia, 4 from Africa, and 4 from North Central America. Let's wrap things up as we get to talk about NBA action. We saw some fascinating encounter in Indianapolis as the Oklahoma City Thunders were able to tie the knot, as it is now 2-2 on the series. Many people are talking about Shea Gilgeous. Many people are talking about Tyrese Halliburton. But the name on everyone's lips last night was Jalen Williams, 27 points to his name, as we saw an incredible encounter. So it's 2-2 on the series. We still have Game 6 and Game 7 left to be played. But before Game 6, we'll see Game 5 in Oklahoma City. Thank you so much, MC Samm. It was great having you on the show.
My pleasure.
Quite unfortunate because of time and the lack of it, we have to wrap things up. Special thanks to everyone who made the production a great one. But we have to say our goodbyes. So we'll definitely return next week. I remain Monday Thomas, and have a fantastic weekend.
And it's out of people's hands before